So installing FTK Imager on a USB drive. Hello, in this section we will be looking at installing FTK Imager on a USB drive. There are several good reasons why running FTK Imager from a USB drive are good options at the scene of an incident, not least the fact that it can be run from a portable USB drive, that is pen drive, allowing for imaging of a suspect's computer or your target computer without the need for installing the software on the target machine or the suspect computer. This can be useful in forensic investigations as it allows for the preservation of the original evidence in its native state or original state. So running FTK Imager from USB drive, it will remove the risk of locally installing on a suspect's computer. Okay. However, in fact, you will always use a write blocker between your USB drive and the suspect's machine. Having it on a USB portable device will make the application portable, and so it can then be used multiple times on multiple devices. And even it runs with minimal overhead, and therefore it is a very efficient way of conducting the operation. Actually, installing FTK Imager onto a USB device is very straightforward, as we saw in section 1. It is a relatively straightforward thing to install the FTK Imager itself onto your forensic workstation. In doing this, you can then insert and format the flash drive partition with FAT32 or NTFS. So there are two ways to use Imager on your portable device. One is copy the FTK Imager files directly to the device, avoiding installing to a local computer first, and install FTK Imager on the forensic workstation. Okay, and later on run the installation on your local computer, then copy the entire FTK Imager folder from that system to your USB portable drive. Okay. So now we are on our computer screen, our workstation. So already the FTK Imager has been installed on this workstation and it is working fine. So let me uninstall this. Let me open the control panel and uninstall a program. Let's wait. Before uninstalling, we need to copy the folder. If we uninstall, the entire folder will be deleted from the system. So before uninstalling, let me copy this. Let me open local disk D, and this is FTK Imager. So we need to copy this entire files into the USB. Okay, so what I will do is I will just go back and copy this FTK Imager folder, and next let me open this USB drive just connected to the system. Let me paste this. Now successfully we have pasted the FTK Imager folder to the USB. So the properties we can see here. So the entire folder we have copied, we have the files, everything. So before opening the FTK Imager from USB, let me uninstall the FTK Imager from the system. So let me open the control panel, uninstall a program. So we have the access data FTK Imager. Okay, let uninstall. Yes. So successfully we have uninstalled the FTK Imager from the system. Now let me open the USB drive and FTK Imager folder. Now let's run the FTK Imager exe file. Okay, so yeah, local disk D, we have this FTK folder. Let me delete this entire folder from here. Okay, so we have deleted. Now Let me go to USB drive, open, FTK Imager, open. Now let me find the FTK Imager exe file. Okay. Right click and run as administrator. Boom. Now we have successfully running the FTK Imager using USB drive, and we have successfully installed the FTK Imager to the USB portable device. So now this USB can be connected to any system in order to take the imaging of it. So it is working properly. Yeah. So this is about installing FTK Imager onto the USB drive. I hope you have understood how to install this. As the FTK Imager program files are saved to the portable media, that is USB, that media can be connected to any computer running a Windows operating system, and the program file, that is FTK Imager.exe, can be executed from the portable media device. With either method, you will need to make a target drive available for saving the image data, and a reliable write blocker must still be used. It is a good idea to create separate partitions and maybe make a tools folder where all of your forensic tools could then sit, including the FTK Imager. Coming to the USB considerations, of course there are several things that we need to consider when using USB devices at the scene of an incident. First, that is, USB access may actually be restricted. This may actually be denied USB ports, or the USB port themselves are full, in which case you would need to have some kind of backup plan. And next, running the application will actually have an impact on the target machine, which is why a write blocker is essential. You may then also need to consider storage requirements. In some cases, you may have a separate partition where you can run your forensic tools, and also then have a partition where you can actually store the evidence items. However, in other cases, you may choose to have separate devices for each. So here are some checkpoints. Regardless of what your actions are, you should always ensure that the portable USB drive used to run FTK Imager is properly formatted and has enough storage space to save the forensic image. And also ensure that they are recorded and properly audited, and this is very important when we are plugging USB devices into suspect machine. You should also consider using a powered USB hub and maybe make that part of your go bag. So please make use of USB hub. And verify the integrity of the forensic image created by FTK Imager by calculating its hash value and comparing it to the original device's hash value. And follow standard forensic protocols and procedures when using FTK Imager, such as maintaining a chain of custody for the evidence. Always make sure that the device you are imaging is secured and you have the right to access it, following your company or organization policies and law. Of course, it is always a good idea to be conducting risk assessments before you do any action and when you are working on a suspect machine. Keep good documentation of the imaging process, including information on the device image, the data and time of the imaging, and the person who performed the image. You never really know what the impact is going to be as soon as you start plugging in devices and are indeed running applications. Of course, as with all of this, it's a good idea to have tried and tested incident response plan, which you are going to stick to. And part of that plan would be, of course, a backup plan that you need to put into place. Okay.